Hey guys, Tom here. I wanted to provide just a very brief and kind of high level recap of the board meeting last night for those of you that weren't able to attend. So I'm going to look over here at the agenda. We had a detailed financial report from Cindy Rainey, our treasurer. She goes through all the reserve balances, our current accounts, where we have investments, as well as a separate report, detail on the special assessment, the funds that have been collected, the funds that have been spent, the categories, exactly what and where, always discussed in these meetings. And we've asked Cindy and Rebecca to get that placed within Appfolio so that that information is just available for anybody that wants to see it. But we don't keep anything from anybody, so if you can't get online or find it, we'll email it to you. So don't want anybody to ever worry or struggle with that. Speaking of Appfolio, the percentage reported was that 46% of you have logged in to your Appfolio account. It's pretty good. You know, it is new, but we'd encourage you to do that. I was pleasantly surprised the first time I logged in to see all my information right there. And what I really like is when I see the condo fee underneath it, you don't have to click on anything. It breaks down which of that fee goes to operations and reserves. And if you've ever wondered, like, where does the money go for the condo fee? It's just one round number, but how is that handled? It's pretty cool to see what that looks like. So take a look at that. Let's see, whatever else. Treasurer's report, again, kind of already covered that. On the consent agenda, we had the manager's report. Our new manager, Suzanne Bishop, gave a detailed recap of what's occurred since the last board meeting. Incidences in the park or updates in equipment, things of that nature. Obviously talked about the pool closure up front and the load that's putting on the back pool. She sent a great email to owners. I think it's the second one within a week, kind of updating people on what's occurred. She also noted that she's got little handouts for guests when they arrive so that they're informed, and also gave a breakdown of kind of what happened in that situation. It was good to hear that and share that. We had around 50 people online in the meeting and maybe half a dozen people in the audience. So the manager's report occurred. A special assessment report, kind of separate from the financial piece, kind of breaking down the status of projects for the special assessment, was provided by Angie Singletary, presented to the board. Also very helpful. We discussed the engineering report for the clubhouse. If you've seen the second story balcony area is closed and there's some damage to the stairs and whatnot, we had an engineer look at that. So we reviewed that as a community and approved for that company to put together, think of it as a repair plan, a document so that we can put out to bid to general contractors and specialists an intelligent document that would allow them to bid on repairing that building up there by the front pool. So that was a small expenditure that needed to be approved by the board. The front office, the golf cart has gone kaput. We had some really knowledgeable people in the community, owners, come and look at it and see, can we fix this? Is there any way we could save money? And it's just way beyond its lifespan. So the board approved the purchase of a new golf cart that was in the budget. So it's any sort of surprise. When we do the budgeting process, we do look at things that are likely coming down the pipe. So it's any kind of special assessment on you. Money's there as it should be. Actually worked this time. We discussed the history of night swimming and certification of night swimming in our pools. A detailed update was given on that, and we've got some action steps for the manager to follow up on. That was a productive conversation. And then Suzanne Bishop, our new manager, went through the fact that our Xfinity, our cable television contract expires. I think it's a decade. I might be messing this up slightly. But essentially, we're at the end of that contract. We know, and you could see in looking at the financials and at your statements personally, that our, what I write down here, our current Xfinity condo, what you pay into having cable at your units, $10.88 a month. Think about that just for a second. Who at home is paying $10 a month for cable? Nobody. Base cable here for me in Tallahassee is $109. And then I add internet on top of that. They have gone up. And the numbers we're looking at right now are like $36 a month per unit for base cable. So that's a dramatic increase that we have no control over. Suzanne's going to connect with some brokers and other solutions and bring back to the board a recommendation of that. This is one of those situations where we have nothing to do with this increase, but we're going to work hard to find a solution and try and figure out how to navigate that as a community. No need to panic. This is going to be discussed openly. We might have a community roundtable on it, certainly in the next board meeting. We'd never enter into a lengthy contract without quite a bit of review, in particular when it has an impact on you financially. But just wanted to kind of get that thought process out there, that here's yet again one of those things that are beyond, the control of the community. It doesn't matter who's sitting in the manager seat. You can pick an entire new board. Xfinity raised their rates. We're looking for a better solution. So that's where that is going. In my closing remarks, I noted that we are putting together a really detailed board orientation where we'll have legal provide a presentation on Florida statute and how that affects governing a community, so that if we have new board members arrive, they're properly briefed. I'm also going to reach out to some of our previous board presidents and committee chairs to put together a bit of a roundtable for the board on some of the history of major projects in our community. When I started on the board, I was elected, they convened a meeting, we selected officers, set the schedule, I was given a binder and said, govern. I wasn't president at that time, but that is not enough information. We have a complex community and we have a complex history. And I'm very thankful for the previous leadership and owners who are constantly volunteering and know how things go. They know what the history of Venture Out is, have been good counselors to the board, but we kind of had to discover them. And I would like them to be readily available to provide counsel to the board. Ultimately, however, a board is responsible for evaluating all the information and making the decision that's best for the community. So these counselors provide advice and counsel, and then the board has to wrestle with that and make the right decision. You can only have one board. We don't want the elected board and then the group of people that's controlling the board like a puppet. We need independent thinkers that are going to evaluate the past, the present, and look at the future. So anyways, that's basically what happened last night. We had great input and participation by owners. It was friendly and productive and lasted a little longer than we wished. But we always want to give people an opportunity to speak and be heard. And I think that happened again last night. So that's what we got. Thanks for watching this. All right, see ya.